Sales Meeting. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. We have lots to cover in the next hour or so, so I am going to dig right into today's content. First, as always, knowledge is not power, execution is power. Knowledge is potential. We're going to talk about some science today, but knowledge is just the potential for power. Execution is power. So please, as we start today's program, make sure you have a pen and paper or somewhere that you can take some notes. We are covering so much stuff today that you're going to have a whole page of notes by the time you're done. And the power of those notes is that you're going to have, I say, 5 things that you're going to go execute on so that you can turn the potential, the knowledge into something great for your business. So first up, I want to say welcome to all of the agents that joined us since our last meeting. So welcome to Reg, Carolyn Brown, Ken Richardson, Albert, Terry, Jesse, Jim, Suzanne, Jen Basso, who's now an agent, Todd Rolland, Carrie Rist, and Karen Valancourt. Welcome to all of our newest team members. Let's talk about some numbers on what we're seeing already for January. I don't know about you guys, but I could feel the busyness of January. Definitely unlike last January of 2023. 100%, I didn't know what the numbers were going to be, but I could feel that from like January 2nd on, there was an energy of business happening. So let's take a look at what we closed. Let's look at our top agents, and then let's look at where that compares to our last January of 2023. So we had 191 closings and 34 rentals for a total of 87.1 million in sales volume for the month of January. This just breaks it down by which offices the agents were located in. So our Massachusetts offices did 154 sales. Our New Hampshire offices did 14 sales. Our Florida offices did 23 sales. Let's take a look at our top agents and top teams for each of our marketplaces. Our top 5 teams by volume for Massachusetts: Button & Co., Rogers Mello Team, Silver Key Homes, Vision Realty Group, and Team Energy. Next, we have our top 5 for individuals: Michael Durkin, Linda Lee, Jacqueline Terrio, Johnny Fallon, and Paul Brulette. That's our top 5 for Massachusetts individuals by volume. Next, we have our top 5 Massachusetts-based agents by units sold: Silver Key Homes, Page & Company, Button & Company, Vision Realty, and O'Connell & Company. Next, top 5 for Massachusetts individual agents by units sold: Linda Lee, Michael Durkin, Jacqueline Terrio, Jim Calway, and Corey Gracie. Top 5 for New Hampshire, and this is for units and volume. The numbers stacked up exactly the same. Number 1, Platinum Realty Group, followed by Jessica Preventure, followed by Team Energy, followed by Fulford Group, followed by Angela Lozier. And then let's take a look at our top 10 Florida agents and teams by volume for the month of January. Congratulations goes out to Tanya, Roberto, the Real Estate Best Team, the Bear Team, Matt McLaughlin, Jose Alcibo, Team Rebello, Isabel Casada, Khalik Jackas, and Vianne. So congratulations. And then let's take a look at our Florida top agents and teams by units. Number 1, Tanya, followed by Real Estate Best Team, Matt, Team Rebello, Isabel, Frank Intellisano, Batro Team, Roberto Ferrer, the Bear Team, and Jose Alcibo. As always, our marketing team puts together a list of our top 25 as well by company-wide volume and units. All of this gets published to LAER Agent Services, And Sergio is always kind enough to send out an email to you guys to let you know once these are published so that you can hop on over if your name is on any of these lists, whether it be top 5, top 10, or top 25. Make sure you take advantage of the resources our marketing team creates and share it all to social media. Let's take a look at where our numbers are, and then we're going to talk about what NAR is predicting for this year in general. So 2024, our January, we closed 191 closings at $87.1 million. And as compared to last year, we were at 162 closings at $77.8 million. So what we're seeing in our company is that our unit sales were up by 18% and our volume is up by 12%. Now, of course, our numbers, we always have to take into account that we're a growing company. We're always adding new agents and new offices. So the expectation is to grow. But also don't forget that we grew a lot in 2022, 21, 22, 23, and still the National Association of Realtors last year predicted the numbers were going to go down by 13%. And as a company, we did see that across the board for all of 2023. Our numbers did dip by 11%. They didn't dip by 13% because we had some growth in agents and offices during that time. But all in all, it looks like we're off to a great start in 2024 with an increase. It's the first time that number has been headed up in, I think, 12 months. That little yellow arrow at the bottom of our screen. First time that's been pointing up in a while. So very excited that we're seeing that. And let's talk about what NAR is saying is going to happen for 2024, because they were quite accurate in 2023 predictions, saying that the market was going to see a 13% decline for last year. So what they're predicting for this year is an increase of 13%. So we're seeing a 13% increase in business this year. And I believe we're already experiencing it. We're already feeling it. By the way, if you go to the National Association of Realtors website, they have all kinds of great content. You can pull up all of their predictions, because one thing you'll want to know, first of all, it's an election year. So that has a lot to play into it. But specifically, one of the things it talks about is that we are going to see an increase in business this year. And the prediction is it's all going to be earlier in the year. And that, in fact, we're going to feel a much slower fourth quarter for 2024, which kind of makes sense based on the fact that it is an election year. Let's talk about some company updates. We have a special guest for you guys, and then I have an important presentation that I think you guys will all enjoy. So for some company updates, first of all, if you're in the East Longmeadow area and would like to join us for our grand opening, we are hosting a grand opening get-together on Wednesday, February 28th from 3 to 6 p.m. Our location is 595 North Main Street in East Longmeadow. Many of you know we moved our offices. So technically, East Longmeadow has been with us. Our team, many of the team members from East Longmeadow have been with us for more than a decade. But last year, we moved to a really exciting location, and our team moved in roughly about October. So we've been planning out for a while. Now that everything is settled down, we want to invite you guys out to join us for a little get together just to check out our new digs in East Longmeadow. I also sent out an email earlier in the month regarding Prime Street. If you're a little slow right now and you want to increase your business, or at least increase lead flow a little bit, we did partner with Prime Street. Now, in Florida, we have been partnered with Prime Street for quite some time. They're very much like Op City. They're leads. They're leads. So you have to remember that These are not super warm leads, but they are leads. They're people that have come off of real estate websites looking at real estate, and Prime Street goes through the process of calling them and doing at least some surface level vetting. So first of all, if you're in any of our Florida markets and you want to be on Prime Street, if you're not already, you can just email happyagent@laerrealty.com. Also, if you're in Massachusetts, specifically Middlesex, Essex, Suffolk, Norfolk, and Plymouth County, and I say email us if you're in Worcester County as well, because they're in the process of adding Worcester County. All of these are new territories for Prime Street. If you want to be on that lead rotation, email happyagent@laerrealty.com and we could send you an invite. Right now, it is not available for Connecticut, New Hampshire, Maine, Rhode Island leads. Now, if you have already become a Prime Street agent, make sure, if you haven't already, to watch the training that we did. It's only about 30 minutes long. You can head over to youtube.com/LAER training, and you'll see if you click on videos that it's probably less than 2 weeks old, the training that we did on this, because there's very specific things that you can do to increase your status with Prime Street so you get more leads. So I could see on the back end that just in Massachusetts in the last 30 days since we've really started using the program, we've added they've sent over around 50 or 60 leads to our agents. So if you're interested in signing up for Prime Street, you can email happyagent@laerrealty.com. It is referral fee based. So that's a 35% referral fee if you close a transaction to somebody that came through Prime Street. However, that is not how to look at it for your mindset. The mindset is you are going to this is a human being that you're going to turn into a raving fan, and they're going to send you their friends, their family, their next door neighbors, because there's no referral fees on the people they refer you to. So if you want to be on Prime Street, email happyagent@laerrealty.com. By the way, this is a good reminder in general because we're at the start of the year. If you have not already done so, please just subscribe to our YouTube station. We offer tons of training every single month, and it's impossible to stay on top of all the live training. Well, you don't have to stay on top of all the live training if you get notified every time we add new training to YouTube. So by subscribing, you'll just get a little notification each and every time we add new content to our YouTube station. By the way, speaking of YouTube, we did a phenomenal class in January on Google for Business with Johnny Fallon. Johnny Fallon is out of our West Yarmouth office, and I was fascinated with a recent conversation I had with Johnny because he was talking to me about some of his recent closings. And he said, believe it or not, I'm getting these transactions from my Google business page. Interesting. So we did a 45-minute program on Google for Business where we outline exactly how to set up your Google business page, things that you can do to increase the lead flow. This is all free. The reason this is so important is because I still get through Happy Agent people coming through saying, oh, I need help like making my website pretty. Do not waste your time making your website pretty. Spend that time building your Google business page. Your website is not going to get the traction that a Google business page is. So don't spend all the time finagling a resource that is kind of like a business card. Should you have a business card? Yeah. Should you have a website? Yeah. But don't go crazy making them beautiful when you could better allocate your resource, your precious resource of time, on something that is actually going to generate business for you, which is your Google business page. So head over to our YouTube station and make sure you watch that if you haven't yet, our Google for Business featuring Johnny Fallon. The other thing we started this year is every month for agents that don't like to put together their own stop by gifts. By the way, if you do like to do your own stop by gifts, make sure you head over to laeragentservices.com and you'll find all the little tags. We've made all the cutest little tags for you so that it aids you in putting together nice little stopping gifts so that you never have to show up to somebody's house empty-handed. Well, we're going to take that to a whole new level for agents that don't want to even put the little gifts together. We started last month with our brand new program of offering stop by gifts already created for you. So we ship them to you in a bulk format with say 25 or 24, 25 at a time. We started with Valentine's Day. You're going to be getting an email today or tomorrow with next month's, which is, I think, a St. Patrick's Day theme. But each month for agents that want to just have the marketing like done, that you receive a box and you can get out and start meeting clients, we're doing all the heavy lifting for you. Also wanted to let you guys know that we've built out some really cool stuff over the winter for all of you. First of all, we built out our laerrealty.com/transaction blueprint. This is all new. I'm going to see if I can head over there for a second so you guys can take a look at it. So laerrealty.com/transaction blueprint, we gave a facelift to. First of all, if you're a newer agent, we've been building out all of these little tutorials on how to do the forms for a transaction. So far we've added Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Florida. We're also working on Connecticut and Maine, but all the tutorials are there for you. Also, we've put together agent help guides. So for example, if you're a newer agent and you've never done a home inspection before, we built out this massive book. I think I forget how many pages this is. It's like 70 or 80 pages, but everything that a home inspector should be going through on a transaction. So that's something, if you're a newer agent, you have to really check it out. We also built out a real estate agent's guide to lead paint. And this is like a 4 or 5 page booklet on everything you need to know about lead paint laws. Also, this one's super important because I could tell you we're in February and I've already had 5 procuring cause issues since January 1st. First of all, number one thing with procuring cause, at least in Massachusetts, at your first meeting with the client, you have to have them sign an agency disclosure. That is the law, and nobody's checking on that unless you have a procuring cause case. So in other words, if you want to go after somebody for a commission because you showed somebody a property and now another agent's coming in and saying, hey, I'm the real estate agent, you have automatically lost the case if you did not get the agency disclosure sign. Anyways, we have some other really good tips for procuring cause best practices. It's only getting worse because there's more and more real estate agents. So even if you're not a new agent, please check out the procuring cause best practices. Also, because we have lots of agents getting licensed in other states, we've been building out these little Connecticut law best practices, Maine law best practices, because when you do your business in one particular state and then you go to a different state, everything changes a little bit. The laws are different, the requirements are different. So we're building out some best practices worksheets. Make sure, for example, if you just got your Connecticut license, you check out the Connecticut law best practices so you can go through and at least have some semblance of how things are a little bit different in Connecticut versus where you are in Massachusetts. The other thing that we have been building out is our guide to real estate agent safety. So you can download this at laerrealty.com/safety. This is a booklet we built, And it is all, so if you click on it, it opens into like a 14-page booklet. We'll grow this over time, but it's best practices to stay safe within our industry. And then also on this page, we've added other resources such as like Be Safe, which turns your smartphone into a voice activated alarm system, Invisaware, which is cool jewelry with everything built in, and then Forewarn, an app that is for real estate agents to kind of do a quick background verification on anybody you're meeting. So make sure you check out all of these really cool new resources that are available to you. Let's see, a couple other things, and then I have a guest that I want to introduce you to quickly. As a reminder, if you haven't done so already, make sure you head over and check out our guide to buyer representation. You can get this at LAERagentservices.com. This is a whole buyer presentation, and it's phenomenal. LAERagentservices.com. It's under our marketing section under guides, presentations, and brochures. Awesome stuff, because this is the stuff we need to be talking about with buyers. I had an agent email me yesterday and say, what do I say to a seller who says, I don't want to pay a co-broke, or I don't want to offer a co-broke in MLS? And I said, what I would say to them is that they're crazy. They're limiting their potential, the potential buyers that can buy their property. And I said, what I mean by that is that if there's 3 houses on the market at 300,000 and 2 of them are offering a co-broke, either way, the buyer, so this has nothing to do with the agent, because she said, well, I can't say that the agent's not going to show it because we're not offering a co-broke. I said, absolutely, you don't have to say that whatsoever. But what they should know is that if their buyer is represented, the buyer is going to have to pay their buyer agent. And if 2 of the houses are offering to pay the buyer agent for them, it is the buyer who is more likely to choose one of the other 2 properties, because it could be a $10,000 differential in the amount of money that is coming out of their pocket. So they are limiting themselves. The buyer, it has nothing to do with the real estate agent. It is the buyer that is going to deselect certain properties because they simply can't afford to pay the buyer agent on that property. So anyways, really important that we get our dialogue straight. We will come out with some training programs on it. The only reason we haven't is we have to be super careful around antitrust violations when you host a class like that, talking about commissions and stuff like that. So we will figure out a way to have these conversations, but also lean into the boards. Every single board we have is offering phenomenal classes on this very subject. As a reminder, you can now sign up for one-on-one agent briefings. So we're still building this out, but this is part of our new onboarding process for new agents. If you have, for example, let's say you're using the LAER Tech Bundle, Boston Logic, Isact, and Real Scout, and you're not really digging into those tools, set up a briefing at laerrealty.com/briefings. This is a 30-minute one-on-one video meeting with a staff member who can help you get that item working for you. We want the tool to be working for you. Also, as a reminder, we also partnered at the end of last year with the CE Shop. So if you're looking to get licensed in another state, or you need some CE classes quickly, head over to the CE Shop. The reason I love CE Shop is, especially if you're licensed in multiple states, you could take one CE class and then the CE Shop says to you, hey, by the way, that certificate you can use in 5 of the other states you're licensed in, or one of the other states that you're licensed in. So it saves you a lot of time in that you can take one class and cover multiple states. As always, I also want to remind you, our team puts together a phenomenal newsletter once per month. We send it out to you by email. We also ask our host to leave a little package of them at all of our front desks so you can grab them when you're in the office. But this is all that's happening in our company. It tells you like initiatives that we're working on, things that our committees are working on. It lets you also know what is happening in the lives of your agents, the people that you work with, the people that are sitting next to you, who had a marriage, who had a death in their family. Make sure you check out our monthly newsletter. And then with that, I want to introduce briefly, we have Zach Dumont from Wise Pelican on. Many of you guys know we have been, they've been one of the companies that we constantly refer people to anyways. I love their print mailing for many reasons. One of the big things I love, and maybe Zach can cover this a little bit, is because you can do mailings through Wise Pelican that include a landing page with a call to action, which is kind of where many agents miss out on their marketing pieces. They do a great marketing piece, but it doesn't tell the consumer to do anything once they receive it. So with that, I want to introduce Zach Dumont from Wise Pelican.
Hey everybody, happy Valentine's Day. I appreciate the intro, Stacy. Yeah, we've kind of been a preferred vendor for you guys for a little while now, and we are really excited to kind of build off of that partnership and bring you guys some really interesting tools here in the near future. And so I just wanted to take a couple of minutes and just preview just the platform for you guys a little bit, just get you familiarized. And as those new features get kind of launched with you, we will do another session so that way we can kind of introduce everything a little bit more clearly and go into things in a little bit more detail. So let me just kind of pull this up really quickly. So for those of you who are not familiar with our platform, we are a direct mailing platform. We offer postcards, brochures, and letters. We actually have the LAER Realty templates already built out onto the platform. So we make it really easy for you guys to be able to mail out, whether it's proof of production, if you're reaching out to your sphere of influence or to your farm. We try to make it as easily and quickly as possible for you guys to be able to get those orders out the door, because we understand how valuable your time is, and your time is best spent out in the field, meeting new people, going to open houses, going to listing appointments. So to quickly just kind of show you how quickly you can get an order through, you would just be able to quickly select a template, and that will pull up our express editing tool, which allows you to then edit the template as necessary. So you can adjust any of the text, adjust any of the photos that come on to that are on that template, as well as update the testimonials from clients, as well as any of the agent contact information. Let it just load up here. It always takes a little bit longer when I'm trying to share my screen and I'm on Zoom. So I do apologize.
While that's loading, Zach,
yeah.
Basically where we're headed with this is for agents that get new listings at LAER, they're going to get an email that you've already basically created the piece for them.
Yes. And so that is a feature that we're going to be launching very, very soon. We're really excited about it because it's going to help you guys just get out your proof of production mailings, which are really, really crucial and key. And with our platform, you're not only able to just target the nearest radius of where that listing is, but you can actually be a little bit more specific in who you're targeting. So you can select the particular neighborhood or include to mail that proof of production piece to your farm and to your sphere of influence, which actually we have seen from a data perspective generate better results from generating new business. So as Stacy kind of touched on, so what would actually happen, and I have a quick preview, so I'll show you guys what's coming down the pipeline here, is you'll receive an email from us that will be congratulating you on your new listing or your recent transaction. And you'll be able to just quickly click one of these links, and it will take you directly to that specific template, where then you can edit that template if you wanted to change out any of the photos. It's going to pull all the listing data directly from the MLS, so you don't even have to worry about any of that. You would just quickly be able to look and review, say, like, okay, this is exactly what I want. And then you would be able to go in next And then that's going to take you to the order page where you're going to be able to, that's in my production. So let's just go here. So you would essentially go to the next, and you would be able to just name the order, and then you could select from the mailing list that you already have. So if you have your farm saved or your sphere of influence saved, you can quickly just load that up. Our pricing starts at 89 cents per postcard. That includes the printing, postage, and tracking of the campaigns. So all of our campaigns are fully trackable. So you actually can see when the post office scans them for delivery. The other great thing, as Stacy mentioned, is that we have our what we call our automated seller valuation postcards. And these are postcards that come with a QR code located on the postcard themselves. And that is actually going to link directly to a landing page that we host for you. And that will then capture that lead's email address in order for them to receive an email with a high, medium, low valuation for their home. And so once they do that, we will then actually send you an email that includes which property address has scanned that QR code and the email that they used to receive those high, medium, low valuations. So that becomes a warm lead for you and a good indicator as to who is in your farm or who is in your sphere is going to be worth reaching out to and putting a little bit more effort and time into to see if you can potentially get that listing appointment, whether it's, if you have their phone number, picking up the phone, or going and knocking on the door, presenting a CMA. It's a great indicator. And what we view it is, it's really kind of taking direct mail and bringing it into the 21st century, because it allows you to almost get a click rate and really start tracking to see who in your farm is actually, essentially clicking on those postcards that you're sending to them.
All right, awesome stuff. I don't know. Like I said, we reached out to Wise Pelican last fall only because we were already doing so much, telling you guys like there's no better place to organize your mailings, in my opinion. And I think that automated seller valuation piece is like a game changer. So thank you, Zach. I think we're planning sometime in the next 30 days to put together like a formal training for everybody, correct?
Yep. Yeah. So we'll put together a formal training. We'll go over those automated seller valuation postcards as well as our set it and forget it campaigns, which is a really great platform that actually allows you to, over a 60-minute session, we actually schedule out the next 12 months of a campaign for you. So that way you don't have, no matter how busy you get, you're touching your farm and your sphere of influence at least once per month. And with those automated seller valuation postcards, you're getting out those touch points with those lead generation tools once per month. It's something that our owner uses for his real estate team out in Arizona. And we've had a lot of success with it on our end.
And that's the last thing I was going to say is that Wise Pelican was built by a real estate agent who owns, and so he's already using the platform and has tweaked it. It's pretty incredible. So thank you, Zach.
Oh, you're welcome. We're really, really excited to work with you guys. LAER Realty is one of those kind of special brokerages that is very advanced in the tools and trainings that you're offering to the agents. And so we love that. And so we're really excited to partner with you guys and continue to kind of just build out more useful features for all of your agents.
All right. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Zach.
No, you're welcome. We'll see you guys soon.
All right. All right. Next up, we have Craig. Any updates on the green front?
Yeah, lots of stuff. So I'm
Oh, we lost you.
sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm throwing in the chat, just threw in the chat, the upcoming event, the NAR event called Broker's Edge. It moves around at all different areas of the country. This year it happens to be in Waltham, Massachusetts. So love to see you there. Very honored, Stacy, that I'm being asked to speak at this event, along with Lawrence Yoon, actually, Dr. Yoon, who provides all that research and runs the research department at NAR, is going to be speaking at this event as well. So it should be really great. And what I'm going to be talking about is something you and I, Stacy, have talked a lot about in the past, the kind of connection between sustainability and broker liability, right? And there's a lot in this space that's coming on. So I'm going to be talking about the new SEC requirements for publicly traded companies to report their ESG, their environmental, social governance reporting that's going to come out later this year. All I can say, Stacy, is thank God we're not a publicly traded company, because my job as CSO would be amplified about 100%. It's crazy what's going to be required for all publicly traded companies, builders, real estate firms, lenders, anybody that's publicly traded. There's going to be some pretty stringent requirements coming out about greenhouse gas emissions, about your climate risk for your buildings, your physical assets that are out there, and what your net zero action plan is for your company over time. It's going to be a timeline. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this space. I'm obviously going to be talking about high performance valuation as well, Stacy, something you and I have talked a lot about. Are listing agents leaving seller money on the table because they're not aware that homes with green improvements sell for more, and they are recognized by appraisers in the industry. So I'll be touching on that. And then climate risk as well. So we're seeing now agents across the country, listing agents, being asked by buyers, what about climate change and the impact it might have on this home or this condo that I'm buying? And we've seen some really bad examples of how to answer that question, Stacy. So the Land Use Property Rights and Environment Committee put together a script for being able to handle that question appropriately in the marketplace and keep you, both the realtor and you, Stacy Alcorn, out of real estate jail. So we'll be touching on all that stuff and more. I'd love to see you there on February 22nd, because unfortunately I've got a really bad setup when I'm speaking. I follow Lawrence Yun, which everybody loves. We love to hear Dr. Yun, and I've got to follow the poor guy. So I'd love to see, I'm the poor guy that has to follow him. I'd love to see some lions there to at least pretend you're interested in my presentation following Dr. Yun, Stacy. That's it for me.
All right, awesome stuff. And I'm going to bring up my next presentation. As you guys know, I like to do like a little learning section with each of our with each of our sales meetings. So just a little different way to think about things for your business. So first of all, let me bring this up. Okay, so this class came out of the Mindful Monday that went out on Monday. I did a little Mindful Monday about how quantum mechanics plays into the science of achievement. And I got so many responses back from that, because I had agents say, I never really thought about how quantum mechanics or science at all plays into my success. So we're going to spend, this is a 1-hour class, but I'm going to run through, you're getting like the 20-minute version of a 1-hour program, and it's called The Science of Achievement. So what's really interesting is that I have agents that, just now having been a broker for 25 years, it's always interested me. Why is it that there are some agents that take 1 million real estate classes? You see them participate in every single class that's out there, yet they never achieve results. And then on the other hand, you have agents that achieve massive results and really never seem to achieve, or they're never at the classes. So I think it comes down to focus. I know, so traditional real estate training is a tool. So how to cold call, how to use technology, how to use charts and graphs, how to market, how to build a Google page, how to negotiate. These traditional real estate trainings are tools to be used in your business. Non-traditional thought training, which is a great piece of what the Mindful Monday message is. It is non-traditional thought training is also a tool, but it teaches you how to become the architect of your own life. So think about like the traditional real estate tools are like a pile of wood and you want to build a house. So the non-traditional training, thoughts training, is thinking about the architecture of what you want to build. So if you were going to go build a house, you probably wouldn't dive directly into the sticks at this point. You would think about like, what is it going to look like? What am I going to build? By becoming the architect, you end up building your life. Now, once you decide to become the architect, the tools will come as they are needed. So instead of focusing on the tools, because the tools, like taking every single class, only gets you to a certain destination, which is the end of the class. Whereas if you spend your time focusing on what you are building, the tools will come as they are needed. In other words, you will learn all the other stuff. The classes will come when they're supposed to come. By focusing on how to use the tools, you are going to become proficient at using the tools, maybe. Because sometimes we take all these classes at a time where we're not ready to use them. So by focusing on how to use the tools, you will become proficient at using the tools, maybe. By focusing on how to become your life architect, you will become proficient at creating the life you want. And all the tools will show up when they are needed. So think about as you are developing your life, think about which tools you want to be focusing on. Before you go take every single class there is in real estate, first focus on how to develop the thoughts, the energy, the consciousness to achieve whatever you're looking to achieve. Otherwise, you're going to have fruitless results from just learning the tools of the trade. Now, really quick on the science, because first of all of it matters. Quantum mechanics, quantum physics, it all applies to your ability to achieve whatever you set out to do. It all has to do with quantum mechanics and physics. I talked in my Mindful Monday about the double slit experiment, but basically what that experiment says is that they did an experiment with all of these waves, and they said, what happens if I have this electron gun that sends all the waves through a slit in, say, a piece of paper? We know what's going to happen. They're going to go through that slit. But what happens if I have two slits? Where are those, where is everything going to land? And what they found out is that where those waves go matters whether somebody's looking or not. In other words, third-party observation makes a difference. During observation, matter wave collapses to a particle state, creating reality. So all you have to know about that is that we create reality. We, as observers of life, create reality through our thoughts. So observation, awareness, thoughts, energy. When you use your consciousness, you are shaping your future. You are collapsing waves. You are taking all of these particles, and all those particles are possibilities. So every possibility right now exists. Every potentiality for your life right now exists. in a potential wave form. And you are the one that is going to turn that wave into a reality. You're going to select which one you want. So you have millions of potential places that your reality can end up, and you're going to select the reality that you want. By the way, you select either way. Even if you choose not to select, you are selecting. So choice is what presents us with a multitude of paths, because choice creates a flow of electrons through the brain in a manner that leads to quantum superposition, which is the many possible realities that are the inevitable result. So all of the realities for you already exist. Are you going to make $1 million a year, or are you going to struggle to make $25,000 a year in real estate? Both of those realities exist right now for you. It's up to you to choose which one you are going to take. There's in string theory, there's something called the law of exponential sensitivity to initial conditions of chaotic systems. All that simply means is that tiny, tiny, tiny shifts in the way you think, because thought is consciousness, energy, it can magnify exponentially over time. Every thought you make is a building block of a future thought. Now, the last piece to think about is your consciousness versus your subconscious. We live in our conscious brain all day, but more than 95% of the mental activity in your brain is actually used by your subconscious. So if you think about it, it's our subconscious is keeping us alive. It is our brain. It is making our lungs breathe. It is making chemicals flow through us. And it is also creating our lives. So 95% of the mental activity in your brain is subconscious. The conscious mind is this very tiny, narrow area that is your current focus. And by the way, that little teeny area includes your ego. The conscious mind is not super helpful in creating the life you want, although it can be, because you can use your conscious mind to plant ideas into your subconscious, because your subconscious will make it all happen. The subconscious mind collects, sorts, and refers to all the mental activity that takes place below the point of awareness. So your subconscious processes 2,000 times more information than your conscious mind. Then the subconscious passes data onto your conscious mind only if your subconscious brain determines that there is a need to do so. So what I want you to think about is that you have two minds. You have a subconscious mind and your conscious mind. We spend a lot of time on our conscious mind, but really the subconscious is driving the bus. Now, what we can do with our conscious mind is plant the seeds for our subconscious so that we end up collapsing the waves the way we want them to be collapsed to create the reality we want, so that we can be the ones that we choose to make $1 million a year or $500,000 a year. We choose to live our life on purpose instead of letting chance happen. So we're going to talk about how to reprogram your subconscious, because we know that the subconscious plays a greater role in creating our reality. There's an interesting movie, it's called Inception. And Inception is a movie where the protagonist engages in planting ideas into the subconscious minds of victims. So by planting an idea into the subconscious, knowing that the subconscious will take it and run with it. Well, we have to do that to ourselves. We have to break into our own minds and plant ideas of prosperity and abundance. By the way, your whole life, other people, other things have been breaking into your mind, planting these ideas. Now it's time for you to harness control. You are going to plant into your own mind, plant ideas of prosperity and abundance. You must plant these ideas consistently until they grow on their own, and then they begin to spread and multiply. So your mission is to spread the contagion of possibility to every neuron in your brain. If you want to achieve anything, it is super important that you strengthen the connection between your conscious mind and your unconscious mind. It is absolutely the most important work that you will do in your lifetime because it is creating your reality. So the last, see how much time we have, the last 10 minutes, we'll talk about how do you plant those ideas into your subconscious? How do you create inception, just like that movie said? So how do you create this undertaking that starts a contagion of all really good stuff happening so that you can create this ideal life that you deserve? Well, number one, be alone. Everything that is spoken near you, every idea that is expressed is registered in your subconscious. It is all registered in your database of possibilities. So find alone time in a quiet space. It offers you a reprieve from the bombardment of all the stuff that is coming to you from the world. You can actually hear the universe if you spend even a few minutes alone each day. 2, speak no evil. Become super conscious of your use of language and speak with intent and caution. Don't waste words because words are energy. They affect other people because they are energy. And remember, you are what you say you are. You will never be more than what you believe yourself to be. So it's time to start deciding what you believe about yourself. 3, reject victimization. Everything is your fault. When you are a victim of anything, something happens to you, you are planting a super dangerous seed into your subconscious. And the seed is saying, I do not control my fate. Super dangerous. Live intentfully. What is your intent? That should be the question that precedes every action you make. This should be like, all day should be spent like before you say something, before you speak a word, before you post to social media, before you look at social media. What is your intent? What is it that you're there to find out? Before you offer an opinion, before you buy something, live intentfully. Visualize. Imagination allows you to create the future that excels your past. This is really important because to create the future, you cannot live in the past, because if you are living in the past, you are going to recreate the past over and over. You have to live what is called the future present. Now, many people live in the past present, meaning that they're present, they focus on everything that has happened, but you can choose to live in the future present. So that requires you to see the present world through the eyes of your future self, and then visualize the environment of your future world. So it requires you to begin to be now what you're going to be in the future. Your future already exists. We already said that. So quantum mechanics basically says that all of the potentialities of your life currently already exist. You just have to choose one. It exists in a superposition as a wave of possibility. Your present circumstances have zero to do with your future unless you choose to select today's circumstances as your future. So it is a choice. Genius emerges from seeing that which you cannot see. Next, time is an illusion. Einstein's theory of relativity suggests that time is an illusion. The straight line we perceive of one thing happening after another is not real. It suggests that all things are happening in reverse order, in standard order, as well as simultaneously. In other words, cause does not lead to effect. Rather, effect leads to cause. So this is super important as you are the architect of the life that you wish to have. Think effect leads to cause. So the old paradigm thinking, if you have not yet achieved your perfect life, your ideal life, then you have your old paradigm thinking, which is old paradigm says cause equals effect. The new paradigm, so in order to achieve the goal, I have to feel happy. Or once I achieve the goal, I will feel happy. Under the new paradigm, you're going to feel the happiness because you already know you achieved the goal, because the goal is part of the reality that you're going to select. So you are already ecstatic. You've already achieved it. You just have to take it now. So you have to live in this new paradigm. Feel the happiness and elation of already achieving that which you wish to achieve, and then you will achieve it. So this requires reverse decision making. Most people make decisions through emotions, then they justify the decision with logic. You have to reverse that. You have to make your decisions with logic, then justify the choice with your emotion. Nonlinear time. The consequence of nonlinear time is this: achieving your goal must not be what causes you to feel the stream of positive and empowering emotions, but instead it is the effect of feeling the stream of empowering emotions that will cause you to achieve your goal. I said this about real estate agents. Many real estate agents think, like the really successful agents, you see them always taking vacations and stuff, and you say, wow, I hope someday I'm so successful I could take all those vacations. It's the other way around. Because they take all those vacations, the business comes to them. They are happy, they are elated, which creates more business. They are already living the life that they know that they just pick. Success does not lead to happiness, but instead happiness leads to success. Create courage. Fear clouds the link to your subconscious. So fear releases adrenaline and cortisol and wreaks havoc on your biochemical processes of your body. The only thing to fear is fear itself, because it is the fear that can ruin you. So long as you have fear, you're stuck. Your path to your potential future is on hold if you feel fear. Fear, another word for fear is worry. For many, the foremost battle that they must wage in their lifetime, and thus the most important battle there is the battle of courage versus fear, because only one can win. Becoming, I love this quote: you can never become a great man or woman until you have overcome anxiety, worry, and fear. It is impossible for an anxious person, a worried person, a fearful person to perceive truth. All things are distorted and thrown out of their proper relations by such mental states, and those who are in them cannot read the thoughts of God. That is Wallace Wattles. So it's important for us to know how to trick the chemical processes in our own bodies. So stress creates corticosterone. This creates methylation, which turns off vital genes within your body. Your thoughts play an active role in preserving or scarring and mutilating your own DNA. And so stress, which causes all this bad stuff to happen in your body, all these bad chemicals to start to set off in your body, stress is a byproduct of unknowingness. Worry, I don't know what's going to happen. So just know that you simply choose your future by preserving and managing your thoughts, living intentfully, managing energy, and planting your subconscious. You are converting a wave of potential into reality. So instead of living in a state of want all the time, live in a state of know. Focus your attention on that which you know you are manifesting, not if you are manifesting. Focus intently on that which you know you are manifesting, not on which you do not want to manifest. So, trick the chemical processes. Spending money, eating unhealthy food, these create dopamine rushes that make you feel good. They make you feel high. You can reverse that too. The same subconscious mind that tells you that certain foods are delicious and buying stuff is fun can also tell you that going to the gym, reading a book, and saving money are equally fun. You can trick your subconscious into releasing the dopamine when you go to the gym or read a book or save money. Thought planting the right habits in your subconscious redefines fun, releases the dopamine, making those activities feel good. You got to intentionally manage energy. What are the good energies? Your enlightenment, bliss, joy, unconditional love and gratitude, happiness and fun, allowance, acceptance, openness, fairness, reason, ambition. When you are in these states, good things are happening, you are manifesting your life. When you are in these states, you are not. When you are in a state of ego, anger, helplessness, lust, fear, sadness, depression, guilt, you're not manifesting. You have to recognize when you are in a low vibration, low energy, and release the low energy. If not for the only reason that you're not manifesting when you are. If you're manifesting more not good stuff. Thought waves. Everything is thought. Where you are today is because of all the things that you have thought. They create your present and they will create your future. So where you are right now is because you thought yourself to this place. If you want something better for yourself, you have to think better. Thoughts are energy. Thoughts of love attract love. Thoughts of gratitude attract gratitude. Thoughts of success attract success. Thoughts of abundance attract abundance. The harvest is not always exactly what you expect, but it will be exactly what you need to advance to the future life you have imagined for yourself. I only say this because bad things are still going to happen. You're going to do everything we say today. You're going to have great energy. You're going to go out and start manifesting, and shit is still going to happen. When you are practicing all of these new tools, practicing with these new tools, not everything is going to go your way because sometimes there's a better way. Trust the process, and even when it doesn't go exactly as you want, be super grateful. When bad things happen, thank you for that happening, because I know I'm now on a much clearer path than I was before that happened. Thoughts are as real as the chair you are sitting on, so choose and manage them wisely. Shine the light on the good stuff. To see and acknowledge a thing is to be on the same frequency as the thing. So when bad things happen, do not focus on the bad thing that happened, because you're going to get more bad stuff that happened. Find the light in the bad thing that happened. Be on the same frequency as the little silver lining that came out of that bad thing happening. Focus on that which is good, even in the worst of circumstances. And by doing so, you're going to grow more of the good. Do not curse the darkness, because that's focusing on it, but shine the light. Expand the reach of your light rather than fighting the darkness. And remember, you're going to have people that doubt you. They hold anybody that is around you holds your energy, your life in their hands if you choose to let them. So let doubters or dissenters or haters carry zero weight. That's why I say, when you go to Facebook, what is your intent of Facebook? Why even look at it? Think carefully about that, because if it doesn't make you feel good, or you feel you're comparing yourself to somebody or something, you're allowing somebody else to carry your energy away. So for the people who doubt you, for them, they only see what's in front of them. For you, the world behind your eyes is more real than the one in front of it. So be super careful of allowing others to collapse your wave function. Be super mindful that you're not letting somebody else choose your reality. You are a wave of infinite potentiality. Others have the ability to remove you from the wave flow of possibility and cause your reality to become a single particle expression of weakness. But that is only possible if you allow it. Your environment powerfully influences your reality, and through awareness, you can choose to powerfully influence your environment. Reality is a mutual agreement of minds. Your mind needs to be strong enough so that your view of the world impacts the reality of those around you, rather than allowing others' views of the world to impact your reality. So today was about giving you, some of you already have been practicing this, and for the rest of you, today you are granted beginner's power, the power of the subconscious mind and the infinite potentialities of the wave function connect you to infinite power. Until your understanding of these forces becomes infinite, then your energy and power shall not be infinite. So it requires that you keep practicing. It requires that you surrender to the process. And when you surrender, think about this. To be willing to surrender is to be fearless. It is actually courageous to surrender. It is awareness of your ability to psychologically cope with all the possibilities. In order to win, you must be willing to lose. So go manifest silently, gratefully, intentfully watch the world contort itself to create a coherent structure that matches that which you insist shall be your destiny, and be the architect, and the tools will then find you. So with that, I know we're super late and I took up all of Mike Conway's time on our presentation, but we'll let Mike close it out and share anything good happening with Coast to Coast, and then we'll call it a day.
Thanks, Stacy. Appreciate it. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. That was awesome. So much content there. I have a sign on my wall at home. It says, live more by intent than by habit. And, you know, I look at it and I think about it, but this really just put it in a whole new perspective. So thanks for that. So Coast to Coast, we're cruising along. When you first started the meeting, you mentioned that you could feel something different this January. I 100% agree with you. It just seems like there's more energy in the market. There's more going on. You know, I'm getting a lot of emails and calls from folks asking questions and, you know, making moves on properties. And it just seems like once the new year came around, everyone jumped in and they're excited about it. So that's what we're feeling. That's what we're seeing. Just want to let everyone know and keep in mind that we're always around. All the attorneys at Coast to Coast are here to answer your questions, not just if you want to send something for us to work on with a client of yours, but if you have questions about anything, you know, an offer or a purchase and sale or what's going on in the market. I recently did a video related to zoning and developing, you know, new properties. So I know there's a lot going on out there. We're here as a resource for you. So please reach out if we can do anything.
All right, awesome. And that is it for today. I wish everyone a wonderful Valentine's Day, and we will see you next month. Thank you, everybody.